Gal Gadot humiliates Rachel Zegler for doing horrible activities during Snow White. Yes, that's right. The internet is absolutely buzzing with the shocking news that Gal Gadot has called out Rachel Zegler in a way no one saw coming. This isn't just a little Hollywood gossip. It's a full-blown scandal that's got everyone picking sides. What exactly did Rachel do to make Gal so furious? Was it something unforgivable on the set of Disney's Snow White? Or is there a deeper, juicier story waiting to be uncovered? Trust us, you're going to want to stick around because this drama is packed with twists and we're spilling all the tea. Today we're looking at the massive drama between Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler, two huge stars working on Disney's highly anticipated Snow White remake. Gal, known for her iconic role as Wonder Woman, is playing the evil queen, while Rachel, a rising star from West Side Story, is Snow White herself. This movie was supposed to be a magical reimagining of a classic fairy tale, but instead, it's turned into a real-life soap opera.
There's something in our house.
Let's put a pickaxe in its brain.
You're in marketing. Why do you even bring an axe?
If you were in marketing, you'd know.
Maybe she's been placed under some kind of a curse.
And all that will wake her is the kiss of a handsome...
I'm awake!
Yesterday, reports broke that Gal Gadot publicly humiliated Rachel Zegler for what she called horrible activities during filming. This isn't just a rumor. It's a scandal that's got fans, critics, and even Disney insiders talking. Let's unpack it step by step. The trouble began on the set of Snow White, where Gal and Rachel were working side by side to bring this beloved story to life. According to sources close to the production, things were tense from the start. Rachel, who's only 23 and still building her career, was reportedly acting in ways that rubbed people the wrong way. Crew members claimed she was showing up late to set, ignoring instructions from the director, and even rolling her eyes during rehearsals. But that's not all. There's talk that Rachel was openly critical of the Snow White story itself, calling it old-fashioned and not relevant in today's world. For a movie that's meant to honor a Disney classic, those comments didn't go over well. Enter Gal Gadot, who's 40 and a seasoned pro in Hollywood. Gal's known for her professionalism, her dedication to her roles, and her ability to keep things positive on set. Sources say she was frustrated by Rachel's behavior, but tried to stay patient at first. After all, Gal's been in the industry long enough to know that young stars sometimes need time to adjust. But things took a dramatic turn during a cast meeting just yesterday. According to insiders, Gal had finally had enough. She stood up in front of the entire cast and crew and called Rachel out, saying, "If you don't respect this project or the people working on it, you shouldn't be here."
I watched it on VHS on like the video recorder when that used to happen like a million years ago.
I watched it on VHS.
Okay, that makes me feel so much better. Woo. So yes, I watched it back then. It was amazing. I even remember being a babysitter and showing that you try to keep them engaged and interested. And whenever they got too tired, I used to always play this film for them. But I think there's something so special about Snow White. The fact that it's about the humanity and it's about nature as well, and it's a beautiful story about an amazing girl who wants to find the true self of hers, that is just so appealing and so special.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again. So I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years.
The room went silent. Rachel reportedly looked stunned, and some say she left the meeting in tears. This wasn't just a disagreement. It was a public takedown, and it's got everyone talking. So, what exactly were these horrible activities Gal was referring to? The rumors are flying, and we've been digging to separate fact from fiction. Here's what we've heard so far. 1. Disrespecting the Snow White legacy. One of the biggest accusations is that Rachel was making fun of the original Snow White story. Sources say she made comments during the rehearsals about the character being weak and too passive, which didn't sit well with Gal or the producers. Gal, who's passionate about bringing depth to her role as the evil queen, felt like Rachel was undermining the heart of the movie. For Gal, Snow White isn't just a job. It's a chance to celebrate a story that's been loved for generations. 2. Unprofessional behavior. Crew members have reported that Rachel was often distracted on set, spending more time on her phone than engaging with the team. There's even a story that she skipped an important costume fitting because she didn't feel like it. While these might sound like small issues, they add up on a big-budget film where every minute costs thousands of dollars. 3. Shady social media posts. Here's where things get extra spicy. Fans noticed that Rachel posted some cryptic messages on her social media accounts around the time of the cast meeting. One post reportedly said, "Some people need to chill and let me do my thing." Another hinted at fake professionalism in Hollywood. While Rachel didn't name Gal directly, many believe these posts were a jab at her co-star. Gal, who rarely uses social media to stir drama, hasn't responded to these posts, at least not yet. Clashing with the director. There's also talk that Rachel was arguing with the film's director, Mark Webb, about how Snow White should be portrayed. Rachel reportedly pushed for a more modern take on the character, which clashed with the director's vision of staying true to the original fairy tale. Gal, who's worked with big directors before, reportedly sided with Mark, which may have added to the tension between her and Rachel.
But crying on that stage.
When am I not crying in public? It's so upsetting.
Why were you crying?
Oh my gosh, I saw the well, we didn't even see, but I saw the logo and I went, that's my name, Snow White's up there, and I cried my eyes out.
What was it like seeing yourself for the first time in full Snow White drag?
I love that description. It's perfect. Oh my god, well, when you get to wear Sandy Powell, first of all, insane. And then you get to be lit by Mandy Walker, and Nadia Stacey designed your hair and makeup. It's like the most incredible thing in the world. And then all of a sudden you open your eyes and you watch the playback, which I never do. And I saw myself on screen and I just wanted to throw up. I was so happy about it. And it was the most incredible experience. And the fan reaction was insane. We didn't even see what they were clapping for. I think it was good. I don't know.
We didn't see anything. We're still waiting.
You see yourself as the evil queen. You are not evil. You are not evil. You're a queen, but you're not evil. What was it like seeing yourself as the evil queen for the first time?
We did not see the clip, so I still haven't seen anything. But when I was in makeup, just like she said, we got to work with such an amazing crew, and it was just like the best it could ever be. I must say that for me, also the transition for the old hag was incredible because it was all real prosthetics and all of that.
You were in the chair for like 4 hours.
4 hours and changing the voice and everything. I feel so lucky that I got to play something that is so far from what I know and what I'm used to, and I super enjoyed every second of it.
These accusations paint a picture of a young star who might be struggling to handle the pressure of a massive Disney project. But is Rachel really the villain here? Or is there more to the story? Not everyone's Team Gal in this feud. Rachel Zegler has a loyal fan base, and they're coming to her defense in a big way. Many argue that Rachel's being unfairly targeted because she's young and outspoken. They point out that she's only 23 and already carrying the weight of leading a major Disney film. It's a lot of pressure. And maybe she made some mistakes. But does that justify Gal humiliating her in front of the entire cast? Rachel's supporters also say she was trying to bring a fresh perspective to Snow White. They argue that her comments about the story being old-fashioned weren't meant to be disrespectful. They were about making the character more relatable to today's audience. After all, the original Snow White came out in 1937, and some parts of it, like the idea of a princess waiting for a prince to save her, don't vibe with modern values. Rachel's fans believe she was pushing for a stronger, more independent Snow White. And that's something to celebrate, not criticize. There's also a theory that Gal might be overstepping her role. As the evil queen, she's a supporting character, while Rachel's Snow White is the star. Some wonder if Gal's trying to take charge of the set because of her status as a Hollywood veteran. Could this be a case of two strong personalities clashing over who gets to call the shots? Rachel's fans think Gal's reaction was too harsh, and that she should have talked to Rachel privately instead of calling her out in public. This feud isn't just a personal drama. It could have big consequences for Disney's Snow White. The movie's already been under scrutiny because of its high budget and the challenge of remaking a classic. Now, with two of its stars at odds, fans are worried that the film might suffer. Will Gal and Rachel be able to put this behind them and deliver the chemistry the movie needs? Or will their tension show up on screen, making it hard for audiences to believe in the story? Disney's in a tough spot. The studio has a lot riding on Snow White, and they can't afford for it to flop. Some insiders say the producers are planning a big meeting to smooth things over. There's even talk that Disney might ask Rachel to make a public apology to calm the situation. But if Rachel doubles down and defends herself, this feud could escalate even further. And what about Gal? Will she stand by her comments? Or will she try to make peace for the sake of the film? Let's zoom out for a second and talk about why this story is such a big deal. Snow White isn't just any movie. It's a cornerstone of Disney's legacy. The original animated film was Disney's first full-length feature, and it set the stage for everything from Cinderella to The Lion King. Fans of Disney are fiercely protective of this story, and they want the remake to honor its magic while feeling fresh for a new generation. When two stars like Gal and Rachel start fighting, it raises questions about whether the movie will live up to those expectations. This drama also taps into something bigger: the clash between old and new in Hollywood. Gal Gadot represents the established Hollywood system. She's worked her way up, earned her place, and knows how to navigate big productions. Rachel Zegler, on the other hand, is part of a new wave of stars who are younger, bolder, and more connected to social media. Their feud is like a symbol of the tension between tradition and change, and it's fascinating to watch it play out. For gossip fans, this story is pure gold. It's got all the ingredients of a great Hollywood scandal: big names, a beloved project, and a public showdown. Whether you're rooting for Gal, Rachel, or just here for the drama, there's no denying that this is one of the most exciting stories in entertainment right now. Let's take a closer look at the two women at the center of the storm. Gal Gadot is a global superstar, best known for playing Wonder Woman in the DC movies. She's 40, married with kids, and has a reputation for being kind, professional, and down-to-earth. Gal's been in the industry for over a decade, and she's worked on massive films with intense pressure. That experience probably shaped her reaction to Rachel's behavior. She's used to high standards and expects everyone to bring their A-game. Rachel Zegler, meanwhile, is a newcomer who's quickly making a name for herself. At 23, she's already starred in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story and has a huge following on social media. Rachel's known for being outspoken and passionate, especially about issues like representation and diversity in Hollywood. But her confidence can sometimes come across as arrogance, and that might be part of what sparked this feud. Rachel's still learning the ropes, and this clash with Gal could be a defining moment in her career. So, where do we go from here? The Snow White drama is far from over, and there are a few ways it could play out. One possibility is that Disney steps in to mediate, maybe even bringing in a professional to help Gal and Rachel work through their issues. After all, the studio can't afford to let this feud derail the movie. Another scenario is that Rachel responds publicly, either apologizing or defending herself. If she chooses to fight back, this could turn into an all-out war of words, with fans taking sides on social media. There's also the question of how this will affect the stars' careers. For Gal, this incident probably won't hurt her too much. She's already a household name with a solid track record. But for Rachel, the stakes are higher. She's still building her reputation, and a public feud with someone as respected as Gal could make studios think twice about casting her in big projects. On the flip side, if Rachel handles this well, she could come out looking stronger and more relatable to her fans. As for Snow White, the movie's still set to release next year, but this drama has definitely put it in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Will audiences be able to focus on the story? Or will they be too distracted by the behind-the-scenes chaos? Only time will tell. This feud is a reminder that making a movie is never easy, especially when it's a project as big as Snow White. There are so many moving parts: actors, directors, producers, and crew members, all working under intense pressure. When personalities clash, it can create a ripple effect that impacts everyone involved. But it's also what makes Hollywood so fascinating. The drama, the passion, the stakes. It's all part of what keeps us glued to these stories. For fans of Gal Gadot, this is a chance to see her take a stand for something she believes in. For Rachel Zegler's supporters, it's an opportunity to rally behind a young star who's trying to make her mark. And for those of us who just love a good scandal, this is the kind of story that keeps us coming back for more. What do you think about this drama? Is Gal Gadot right to call out Rachel Zegler for her behavior? Or did she go too far? Is Rachel being unfairly targeted? Or does she need to take responsibility for her actions? We want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let us know whose side you're on. Or if you're just here for the popcorn. And while you're at it, tell us what you hope happens next. Will Gal and Rachel make up, or is this feud just getting started? Thanks for watching this epic breakdown of the Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler drama. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. They'll want to hear about this too. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next big story. Got something to say about Snow White or this Hollywood feud? Leave a comment below. We're dying to know what you think. And if you're hungry for more celebrity news, check out our other videos for the latest gossip. See you next time.